Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's just two movies.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies. My name's Daniel King. In the studio with me this evening, Birdman.
Oh, did we start? I'm just kidding, Dan. It's good to be back.
Been a bit.
It's been a minute.
I've been taking it easy. I got a lot of shit going on. Like this summer is just fucking insane for me. I got shit going on like every Friday and Saturday ever. So we are still going to try to squeeze in a couple of episodes. We might actually be doing the show bi-weekly for one more month, and then we'll be back to normal. I don't know if it's going to be necessary or not, but I might wind up skipping a week if I have to.
Okay.
But yeah, enough about that. What for somebody who's never listened to the show, Birdman, what would you say we talk about here?
Shit, you putting this on me.
Wow.
Okay. It's just two movies. We watched two movies, if you couldn't figure that out.
Yeah.
And the first movie we watch,
we already watched it. Spoiler
alert, we already watched it. One of us thinks, at least one of us, usually both of us, thinks, hey, that's a pretty good movie. We should talk about it.
Yeah.
And then the second movie is usually a movie that is so bad that it is so fun. And sometimes they have something in common.
Yeah.
This week,
we might be
we'll
grasping at straws, but I think we'll get there. This week we watched After Hours.
Yes.
So your pick is a 1985 R-rated.
Sleepy Boy. It's a 1985.
1985 R-rated comedy thriller movie, 1 hour, 37-minute runtime. This is a Martin Scorsese joint. It's got a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, 89 on Meta. Martin Scorsese, 10.6 million in the box office in 1985. That sounds like a banger to me.
Budget was $4.5 million, so yeah, they made a little bit of money.
Yeah, screenplay by Joseph Minion. He's those little yellow guys you've seen on Facebook. The stars. Let me find the cast here real quick. Wow, jeez. It's weird because I'm not yawning or burping or farting right before we sit down to record, but the minute I hit record, it's just fucking okay. Stars Griffin Dunne, who the movie Dune is based off of. Griffin Dunne as Paul Hackett, Rosanna Arquette as Marcy Franklin, Verna Bloom as June, Robert Plunkett as Steve Street Pickup. Not going to say all that shit. Rand Carr, Catherine O'Hara, Terry Garr, Linda Florentino, Tommy Chong, Cheech Marin, John Hurd, and Dick Miller. Dick Miller, I'm pretty sure, was in another movie we watched. I think he's in Chopping Mall. He's the janitor in Chopping Mall.
This does have Will Patton in it, very briefly. I can't remember if you said his name, but he is he's not in the. I mean, he is. I don't know. He's just a fantastic actor.
Oh yeah, he's Horst.
Yeah, he was in Minari. He was in Minari, which
I haven't seen it. But that's like the face he makes all the time.
Yeah, that is the face he makes.
He's very disappointed with you.
He's very good in Minari. And I think that chick's name is Linda Fiorin.
Fiorentino.
Yeah, not Florin.
Oh, sorry. I thought that lowercase I next to the
F. It gets you.
It looked like an L.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Yeah, what would you say this is about? Gotcha.
God damn it. What if for like 3 minutes I just went like, well, a guy, and then you were just like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it.
Just 3 minutes. And then 90 seconds of dead air.
Okay. This movie is about a very lonely man that has the worst night of his life.
He thinks he's going to get some pussy. He's wrong.
He has the worst night of his life after meeting a girl in Soho, which is downtown Manhattan. Is that right?
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't fuck with New York.
I don't fuck with that.
They have coffee and hot dogs, and I don't.
And if you're not walking here, then
everybody's walking. I'll just be in the way.
Right.
I'll stay over here.
I'm just staring at stuff, get in the way.
I went to New York. I drove right through New York City one time, and I found it so fucking stressful.
Yeah.
I just, dude, I thought I was going to have fucking come apart. Like, I just wanted to get out. As soon as we got into New York City, I was like, I can't fucking wait to get out of here. Like, immediately regretted it.
That's one of those cities you definitely don't drive through.
Yeah.
Or
best avoided. Yeah. Well, it's not often I'm all the way on the East Coast.
Right.
So I was like, hey, you know, we're in the Big Apple. Let's check it out. Whose dumb fucking idea was that? Mine.
All right, let's get into After Hours.
Let's get into it. It's fucking steamy.
One of the reasons
gritty. It's dirty.
It's a few things.
It's New York, baby.
One of the reasons I picked this, I always like picking a film that we haven't watched.
No, I've never seen this.
Neither of us watched this.
No.
Before this. I always like doing that.
I didn't even watch it before the podcast.
You just guessing?
Yeah, I saw some. I went through Google Images and just got some still images.
You're like, oh, I got it. I know what happens.
That's why I asked you what it's about, because I don't know.
All right, let's get into After Hours.
Yeah. So
ooh.
You got Paul Hackett.
Yeah, so you got Paul. I wrote down the character names this time. Is that? I don't know if that's okay with you.
Oh, that's super okay with me. I don't remember all their fucking names.
Yeah. Anyways, Paul, played by Griffin Dunne.
Is it Dune or Dune?
I don't know.
The movie, I mean.
It could. His name could almost be Dune. Maybe it's Dune.
He's French. It's a baguette. It's perfect.
All right.
So Paul. Jesus fucking Christ. Off to a great start.
We'll get there, people. We'll get there.
Paul, he does computer stuff.
He's a word processor.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Dude, just have your whole job taken by Microsoft? Suck it. Ouch. Ooh.
The 80s. Like you're thinking you're on top of the world.
Yep.
And then Microsoft's like, nah.
Yeah. He's not even cool. Paul's not even cool. Like, he's not doing cocaine. He's not he's not driving a cool car.
I guess it is the 80s.
He's not shooting somebody.
All right. Immediately you get the sense that he's a lonely guy.
Yeah.
He's at work. He's staring at his a new guy, a new hire's talking to him. He's staring off at his coworkers and looking at their valuables, and he's admiring their pictures and their home lives, and you can just sense he's a lonely guy.
Yeah.
He is chilling at a coffee shop, and he's reading Tropic of Cancer.
Coffee.
Sorry.
Coffee shop.
Is that Boston or is that New York?
Both. Both.
Don't do that.
What?
Anybody from that area,
they can fuck off.
They're gonna hate us.
You know what? You drive over here.
If we
wash your hands.
If we lump Boston and New York together, there might be a riot.
I think Boston is in New York. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're in the same country.
I think you're right.
Yeah, same municipality.
Geography's not my strong suit.
Just make it up words. They're in the same isosceles triangular formation.
So he's chilling at this coffee shop. He's reading Tropic of Cancer. I was wondering I always wonder when I'm watching a TV show or a movie, and they show a character reading a book, a specific book.
Yeah.
Is that on purpose? Is that just like, hey, we have this copy of...
Probably.
So I wrote down that The Tropic of Cancer is an autobiographical novel by Henry Miller, best known as, quote-unquote, notorious for its candid sexuality.
Ooh.
With the resulting social controversy
okay.
Considered responsible for basically like free speech that we take for granted in literature.
Nice. Okay, I like that. That's interesting stuff.
I assume the common theme there is the sexuality.
He's horny. He's lonely and very horny. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what you're picking up from him. And he's got, a real looker of a gal is like, hey there, how you doing?
How you doing, honey?
Hey.
Roseanne Arquette.
You reading that book? I've seen a book before.
It's my favorite book. I've seen a book.
What are you drinking? Coffee?
Marcy.
Yeah. You said that's Rosanna Arquette?
Yes, Rosanna Arquette.
You may also know her as the lady that works at the Gator Farm in Joe Dirt.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she winds up marrying fucking, wow. Hey.
Oh, Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken, thank you. I was like, I can't fucking remember that guy's name. See, with that weird,
really
like,
her?
He's got that weird Amish afro. Oh, hell yeah, 100%.
That's wild.
Are you Googling?
I just didn't put that together, I
Oh,
guess. Yeah. I knew that she was in...
He's quite the looker back in 85.
Yeah, she's a pretty lady.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that she was in Pulp Fiction.
Mm.
But, and obviously she's in Arquette, but I'm just like, man, I don't, what is she in? I'm not placing her face, but yeah, that's it. Okay.
Joe Dirt. I was like, that's that gator bitch.
It's that gator bitch. So she joins him at the table, and they make fun of this cashier. She's going to head to a friend's house in downtown Soho.
Mm-hmm.
Her friend is a sculptress.
A sculptress of the night.
The sculptress of the night. And her friend's been making plasters of Paris bagels and cream cheese to sell as paperweights.
Yep.
That's a mouthful.
Yep.
Who thought of that? Who was like, you know what?
I don't know. The only reason I even know what fucking plaster of Paris was is because when we bought our house in town, there was plaster of Paris in the garage. And I'm like, the fuck is that?
What is it?
So I Googled it. It's like to make a cement or molds or, sculptures. It hardens.
That's the name. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's making statues in
this movie. I know, right?
Statues of people out of paper mache.
Yeah. It's bizarre. Strange movie.
It is a strange movie. And I mean, we're going to talk about it a little more. And I think maybe I just was not in the 1985 mindset when I sat down to watch it. Now, I did like the movie, but a bunch of the interactions to me without the internet or cell phones or any of that other like remote access type of shit, this started to feel like something horrible is going to happen. Like horrible, like a horror film. It never really quite did because it is branded as a comedy, but I didn't find myself laughing at it, but I was interested in what was going to happen next at every turn.
Really? I was laughing my ass off at this.
Yeah? What was a part that you were just like, this is very funny?
I don't want to get too far ahead. Let's see. What do I have here? And by the way, it does take a minute for this to kick in. Like, first 30 minutes, I was like, did I make a mistake here? What's going on here?
The cab ride thing, I was like, okay, this is a bit silly. It's like it's supposed to be a bit silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But apart from the cab ride, there's nothing that's more than like kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke.
I laughed my ass off. I'll just skip ahead. I won't say who, but someone dies and he puts up pieces of, I don't know, looks like napkin, and he writes
paper
towels, and he writes dead person, pointing to where the dead person is, so the paramedics can find the person. I fucking laughed my ass off at that. That was
fucked up, man.
That was funny to me. Yeah. Did you not laugh at that?
No, I was just like, it's a fucking terrible idea, dude. They're gonna finger him for the murder, and then they're gonna arrest him too.
They're gonna finger him?
Yeah,
weird.
It's called get fingered by the cops.
Damn, dude. Like, okay,
you never been arrested?
I guess.
They didn't finger you.
I don't know.
I'm beginning to think that wasn't procedure at all.
I guess I thought that you would find some of the stuff I don't know. I
was like, this is crazy, man. This story is crazy.
It is.
It just wasn't like, That's super silly. I didn't have that reaction to it. Now that being said, I liked it a lot. Like, I really liked the movie. There were some bits to it that got more comical for me towards the end, but we'll arrive at that later.
So he doesn't get this woman's name that he briefly shares coffee with. He gets her friend's name, Kiki Bridges, and he gets her friend's number. And he calls and gets invited over. And that's where we get the taxi bit. I wonder what that's kind of making fun of. That he takes his taxi and this dude just flies through the city.
Yeah,
like comically.
Yeah,
it looks like it's almost sped up too.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's fast.
Like 1.5 times speed or something like that.
Yeah,
or 2 times speed.
The guy's hauling ass. You could have put Benny Hill music behind it. Yeah,
his money.
Taxi ride's pretty fun. His money flies out the window.
Yeah.
And from that point, nothing for the rest of the evening will go right.
Yeah. It just, anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Yes. Ad nauseum.
Yeah. He gets dropped off. He can't pay for the cab. I thought something was going to happen there between the cab. Like, I thought the cabbie was going to, like, I don't know, do something else. But he just drives off. It's like, oh, man.
Rough him up or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, hey, man, come on.
Hey, man, I got a mouth to feed.
You're right.
I'm driving it.
This is New York.
I'm driving it.
What do you think this is, Boston?
Boston, yeah.
Boom, got him.
Boom, got him. You do that on the other side of the Hudson.
Yeah. I did think when he got to the loft door, all the buzzers like in random spots with like shady wiring and shit. I thought that was kind of funny.
I like that. I didn't know if that was like meant to be a joke or if that's just Spielberg. Not Spielberg. Martin Scorsese.
Oh, yeah,
because he just likes a dirty New York. That's his jam.
Yeah, maybe it is. It is weird that I wonder, has he done any other comedy? Aside from this,
don't think so.
Well, you didn't think it was comedy, so he still hasn't done comedy.
I guess I just yeah.
I'm just fucking with you. So he gets to Kiki's place. She tosses him some keys out a window. Okay, strange. Can just let him in through
with the buzzer.
With the buzzer?
Yeah,
I don't know.
So he gets in there and she's hot, and she's doing
Kiki.
Yeah, she's like dressed all sexy, and
she's just wearing a bra, basically, right?
Yeah,
like,
just a bra and a skirt.
Yeah,
and she's doing paper mache.
She's doing the paper mache. She needs a break. It's kind of funny. She's like, "How about you work on this for a little while?" Like, what?
Yeah. He's like, "Well, it's yours, though." Like, yeah, I don't fuck.
I don't fucking care. He gives his shirt up so she can wash it. She's like, "You want to look good for your date, right?"
Yeah,
I guess. It gets kind of sexual between these two characters.
Yeah,
which is like bizarre because this is not the woman he's there to meet at all.
No, but he like, dude, every gal with a pair of legs is just fucking throwing themselves at this fucking schmuck. Yeah.
And by the way, his unibrow,
it's very pronounced.
We didn't mention the unibrow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Is that a character choice or is that just Griffin Dunne? Like, hey, this is what I rock. If you don't like it, fuck off.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't think his fucking headshot on Google has a fucking unibrow.
Well, it's an older picture, I believe. So he probably, he learned.
Nope, no unibrow here. What else has he done? American Werewolf in London. Practical Magic. Yeah, he's done some stuff.
Practical Magic.
Okay, cool.
He was in a film called Tumble Down with Jason Sudeikis.
Huh.
Never even heard of that.
Huh. Peter.
Anyways.
So, Paul, not Peter. Coincidentally, the other day I put that movie on, Paul, just the movie Paul.
Oh, yeah.
With Seth Rogen as the alien or whatever.
Not very funny.
It's not, no.
I wanted to like it.
It's a fine, it's okay. It just is kind of nothing.
Yeah. So Paul and Kiki, they're chilling. He gives her a massage. She falls asleep.
Yep.
Marcy finally shows up, and
she had to go to the drugstore.
Yeah, she had to go to the drugstore. What's going on with Marcy?
Well, she had a burn cream. I think the joke is that she has an STD and she has fucking for that unpleasant burning sensation. She has a cream for it, and Paul's just gonna roll the dice on it anyway.
He doesn't though, right?
No, he doesn't. I mean, he tries to a couple of times, and she. Oh no!
It gets awkward.
Can we talk for a while? That's what kind of made me think it was a horror film, because nothing about their interaction is funny.
No,
it's just fucking weird.
It's weird. It's
weird that she would be like, "Hey, why don't you come over?" And then the more that their interaction goes on, you're like, something is fucking wrong here. Yeah, just like the wrong flags started getting triggered in my head for this.
Well,
this bitch.
She kind of it's very bizarre. It's a very bizarre interaction because she immediately opens up. Maybe she trusts this guy. I don't know. He does seem like a fine gentleman.
Yeah, seems nice guy.
Likeable.
Yeah.
She opens up a lot to him. She goes into how she was raped for 6 hours, and she in the room that they're in, it was done by a boyfriend. Just very bizarre interaction.
Do you think Martin Scorsese thinks all of his films are comedies?
It's like, you guys didn't think this was funny?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I direct dramas.
Not this bit. I will say, obviously, this is not funny.
Yeah, yeah.
We do get to see Kiki's boobies.
Oh, yeah. We get those boobies.
Saw Kiki's boobies. So, Marcy's like, let's get out of here. You know? By the way, this film is a lot of just going to different places.
And the same places.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of that. Do you want to keep going like this? Or do you want to,
I guess we'll just
maybe just rush through it from here?
Yeah.
And, because there's a lot of back and forth.
So, he realizes she's married. She's got a husband. He's not going to bang her. He feels like this whole thing is just being lied to. And he's like, I came here for a fucking... plaster of Paris, bagel and cream cheese paperweight.
Cough it up.
I got papers flying all over my place because there's nothing. I don't have anything to weigh them down to make with the fucking paperweight. Let's have it.
Yeah.
And she's like, fine. She gets up. She walks into the room. She's talking to her gal pal, and they're crying. She's like, it's okay. It's whatever.
He leaves.
He leaves. Storms out. So as he's leaving, is this when he gets caught in the rain? Yeah, he gets caught in the rain. He goes to the subway. Well, the fares went up. He only has 97 cents, so he can't afford to take the subway. Yep. He's soaking fucking wet. He walks back out, and he walks to a bar. He goes to the bar. The guy's like, oh, man. He's, telling his fucking sob story. There's a waitress hitting on him.
Yeah.
Who's, also very good looking. Just, throwing, all the women in this are, throwing themselves at him.
They are, yeah.
One lady just, wearing a bra and a miniskirt was like, hey, Bert, as an attached fella with you and your gal, if another totally different woman just came up to you and was wearing a bra and a skirt and was like, will you give me a back rub? How would that make you feel? It would make me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I would be like, whoa. But I would decline. I'd be like, no, it feels wildly inappropriate.
I'd just run away. No,
screaming. Get away from me. She tried to touch my bad spot. No, and then this waitress too, she leaves him a cute little note on the table or whatever, and she ain't a bad looking lady either. But he's just having a bad night. He wants to go home, so he ignores her, talks to the bartender, explains his situation to the bartender. Bartender's like, oh, I'll give you the fare. I can't open the register. I need the key to open the register. Here's the keys to my apartment. Go get the keys to the register. Everybody just sends him on a fucking fetch quest.
Yeah.
So while he's doing that, he fucking just washes his face in the bartender's apartment and fucking flushes a piece of toilet paper and floods the guy's fucking bathroom.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I did like, I was like, oh man, that's the real nightmare.
But he just leaves.
Yeah.
You don't see him cleaning it up or anything. He
The
just
ultimate
leaves.
horror is you have to take a shit at a house party.
Yeah.
And then when you flush it, the water just keeps going
You're
up.
like, no.
Mortified, dude.
You have to leave.
No, that's a horror. That's a horror film.
Yeah, he floods this dude's place. You know, he runs into Cheech and Chong, which that's not who. I mean,
it's not anything.
It's not Cheech and Chong, but that's who I'm going to refer to them as Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, because so everybody knows who you're talking about.
Yeah. He runs into them. I believe they are stealing some stuff. They have bought some stuff.
They're stealing stuff and buying stuff.
Another thing that I thought was super funny.
That is super funny. Yeah, that was the first thing where I'm like, well, hopefully this is going to happen more, right? Yeah. They pop up like twice in the whole movie. No, 3 times. But yeah, funny bit to just get him in there.
So I guess the big part is, you know, eventually he ends up back at Marcy's. He's going to apologize. But she fucking killed herself. She took some pills and killed herself.
Yeah.
And that's whenever
also not hilarious.
No, it's not. And I guess I didn't really, I don't know, it is pretty fucked up. Like you said, you were explaining it to me earlier. You're like, think about if this were to happen to you in real life.
Fucked up shit. Like, it's kind of scary, man.
Yeah.
You get driven way the fuck uptown, dropped off with no fucking money. You have 97 cents to your name. In uptown New York, fucking stranded. Like, yeah, that is probably a recurring nightmare I've had, maybe.
Right. Yeah, so she's killed herself. That's whenever I thought it was super funny but
it's like, goddamn, bro.
No, when he leaves the notes.
Yeah,
for the
he does just
paramedics.
get like a felt pen and some paper towels, and just writes dead body with an arrow.
Dead person with an arrow pointing to like several of these,
and just fucking sticks them on the walls and shit.
Was fucking funny to me. Like, I know it's a very serious subject matter,
because he's like, he calls 911, and they're like, all right, we're on our way, and he's like, well, I gotta. How long? And they're like, at some point.
Well, he remembers that he still has the fucking keys to that bartender's place. He's like, oh shit, I got to get back. I got to go to his place, get the key to the safe or the cash register, get some money so I can get the fuck home.
Yeah. So
he goes to do that. I mean, he just gets distracted. He just keeps getting distracted in these random quests. I think at one point he meets back up with the waitress.
He goes back to the bar. He goes back to the bar. The bar is locked.
Yeah,
because he wants to swap keys with the bartender. He's got the thing the bartender asked for, so he can give him 50 cents or whatever, and he can fucking go home. But the bar's locked. Well, there's the waitress standing out there. Nothing but net. The waitress is standing out there, and she's like, "Hey,
hey, honey,
come on over to my place for some coffee. Let's get you out of the rain." Maybe I can touch your cock. She's fucking throwing herself at him too, and she's fucking a little weird.
Yeah,
she's okay. So I think here's part of the joke that didn't quite land for me while I was watching it, but I thought about it later in retrospect, because the bartender says something about a beehive hairdo, which is like an old 60s thing. And then she's listening to the Monkees, but she's also dressed like she's in the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
So I think she's just like lady lost in time or whatever kind of situation.
That's what I got from it.
But while I was watching it, I was just like, that didn't land for me, because I guess I'm so far away from 85 and from 65. I'm like, they're the same. Obviously I know that's not the case, and I do like the Monkees.
Yeah. I kind of got pretty, I don't know, I guess I picked up on that like she's stuck in the past for sure. She has that just a very 60s vibe all around. She was a strange one though. It's funny, it was funny because she happened to have a plaster Paris bagel and cream cheese paperweight. She had the paperweight.
Yeah, I bought it from a local sculptress.
She's like, I think I should give this to you. You've been really good to me. You promised you'd come back.
Yeah.
You did come back.
It's the thing he was throwing a fit about earlier. There's a lot of cool hat tips in it, like when he's walking out, he's storming out of what's-her-face's place, and he looks at the sculpture that's made out of paper mache, and there's a $20 bill in it.
Yeah.
But he lost that $20 bill out the thing, and then, get me the cream cheese bagel or whatever. And she's like, fine, I'll go get it. And he leaves, but then this other woman just has one.
Right.
She tries to give it to him.
He doesn't want it.
A lot of that stuff. There's been a lot of burglaries in the area. And he goes back to the bartender's apartment. Everybody's like, hey, are you a burglar? And then eventually he gets angry mob after him.
Yeah.
While he's just fucking turning down ladies left and right.
Also, I did find it, it's kind of funny that it turns out that the bartender's girlfriend is Marcy, the girl that he was originally seeing and killed herself. Like,
right.
He's just fucked up so much shit.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's butchered everything. This is the time where you just go home and go to bed.
Oh,
and it's got to be frustrating to be so fucking stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes with... So eventually he goes to get a taxi. It ends up being the taxi from earlier.
The same taxi driver. He's like, look, I can pay you. I have the
pay
money.
You. I got a $20 bill.
So he just takes the money and drives off. Takes the whole 20.
He's like, I'll be back.
Yeah, okay, great. I'll be right back.
And the woman that got out of that taxi ends up going with her. And this is, who did I say that was?
It's fucking Kevin McAllister's
mom.
Mom, yeah.
In Home Alone.
And Kevin McAllister's dad is the bartender.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
You can fact check me, but I'm pretty positive it's the same guy.
You know what? I think I want to fact check you.
Fact check it? I bet you that's Kevin McAllister's daddy right there.
It is.
Yes.
Good job, Danny.
Maybe they met on the set of that and they were like, we should have a monster. We should reprocreate and just make a fucking little homicidal maniac. That's what we should do.
So he goes with her.
We'll get him cardboard cutouts of Michael Jordan. It'll be great.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. She wants to fix his arm. I don't know. Something happened whenever
he's got a little cut.
He's got a little cut from whenever he was trying to get the taxi. She takes him to her place. She says she's an ice cream truck driver. And
Mr. Frosty.
Mr. Frosty.
Yeah.
That's the truck she drives.
Got to get your Class D license or whatever. I didn't know if you knew that. I got it all on my own.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No big deal. And at this point, like you said, there's a mob after him. Mm-hmm. People think he is the burglar. So
right.
You get a pretty big chase here. He meets this guy on the street. And at this point, I guess from watching the trailer, I thought that this guy he met on the street was a friend of his. Because in the trailer, it kind of almost frames it as like, that's his buddy or something.
Yeah.
So that kind of threw me off too.
No, it was a guy who thought they were going to have gay sex.
Yeah.
I've never done this with a man before. He's like, okay, here's your phone.
Yeah.
Just calls the police.
Oh, dude, you know what? Something else I thought was super fucking funny is when they are in the bar, or when he's in the bar at one point, there are two dudes dressed as bikers, two gay guys dressed as bikers, and they're just making out, and they're just like rubbing each other's nipples. They're just horny as fuck.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, my girlfriend killed herself, the bartender. And they're like, oh, my God. Like, everybody's like, oh, that's terrible. Which you would be. You would be like, holy fuck. But, yeah, that bit's pretty funny. I like so he goes to kind of this pretty fucking rough, like, punk rock music venue.
Yeah, Club Berlin.
Yeah. And
he goes there a couple times. But yeah.
There's probably a band on stage called like Liberty Toilet Fart or something. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like
I like it.
Justice Queef or
fuck Justice Queef.
Yeah. Something super edgelordy that I probably would have been way into in high school.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he basically we're kind of towards the end of the film, he ends up at Club Berlin for a second time, I believe.
Gets his head shaved real quick.
That's earlier, yeah. The first time he goes there, but the last time he ends up there, it's nearly empty and it's invitation only. But he happens to have an invitation that he got earlier, and there's a woman by the name of June there, and June, did they dance? I believe they dance. They have a drink, they're hanging out. She takes him downstairs, I guess, to where she lives. She's going to hide him from the mob.
She's going to fuck him first.
I don't think they do, though.
No, they're not. They don't. But I think she was going to. Yeah, she was going to hold him tenderly for a bit. And then he was going to smash that pruntang.
And then love on him. Yeah. He hides her, she hides him in a sculpture.
Right. Yeah, she just fucking starts putting paper mache on him because just everybody does.
Everybody's into paper mache.
Everybody's into paper mache.
I thought that was super funny. Just so many callbacks in this. So he gets hidden in that. The mob comes in. They don't find him. And then she goes upstairs to make sure the mob is definitely leaving. Mm-hmm. And Cheech Marin and Chong enter through a manhole.
Right.
And
they ask multiple times, is there another way out of here? No.
There's not.
But there is.
Yeah. There's a fucking manhole. And they see the sculpture that they think is the sculpture that they bought and lost. So they take it and they fly off. They're flying through New York. They're flying through the streets. They're walking here. And the back doors suddenly open of their van on accident.
He flies out.
It busts the paper mache.
He's able to get out.
Gets out. And where's he at?
He's at work.
He's at fucking work. And it's time to go to work.
Yeah, so he just walks in and...
I love the ending of this.
The ending of it is a fucking home run for me. Out of all the places that he would have wound up, honestly, work would have been like my top 3 guesses. But for some reason, I was just like, where is he now?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, he's at work. I'm like, oh, that's worse. That's worse than being someplace exciting. You know?
Like,
ugh.
Oh, man. He just wants to go home and go to bed.
But he never gets to.
He's fucking...
Never gets to.
He's back at work, baby.
Yep.
So this is not necessarily the film I thought it would be. It is... I liked it. I did like it.
I don't find it to be a comedy.
That's crazy.
I find it to be like a weird, like almost like a psychological thriller with a couple of funny things that happen. Like, this is a twisted fucking story of circumstances.
It is. It for sure is, but I thought it was
Who wrote the screenplay for this? Lemony Snicket, you say?
Joseph Minion? Those goddamn minions.
This goddamn... When they're like, banana, or whatever they say. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I'll just maybe go through a few things that I thought were super funny. When he's at the bar and the bartender wants to give him the money... So the bartender's trying to open the cash register.
Oh, he just starts flipping out on it?
Flipping out on it. He's like, no, it's okay. No, you're good. Don't worry about it.
It's funny in hindsight, but I guess I was like, I remember that outbursts of physical rage were acceptable in public back in the day.
But he's just like kicking at the cash register violently to try to get it to open.
Right. Yeah, that is true.
I thought that was pretty super funny. Like,
I like I like that when he goes back to Kiki's place, that there's just another dude there. Like, they're getting ready to do like some BDSM bondage fucking. And another guy walks out and he's like, this the guy? I was like, what is going down here?
Yeah,
the guy's just like, it's fucking not cool, bro.
Yeah.
You better go apologize. And he's like,
okay, you're right.
I will. Yeah.
That was Will Patton. That was funny because you immediately think like, oh, this dude's going to beat his ass. But he doesn't.
He beat his cheeks.
He might beat them cheeks up. He doesn't. He's just like, hey, go apologize. Apologize. Yeah, that was funny. Let's see. What else do we... I love the ice cream truck bit. It's so fucking goofy to me. Too. Like...
She was probably the funniest...
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, and like most demented character in the...
So
nailed
close.
it. I was going for the no look.
Yeah, so I really liked the bit with her and her ice cream truck. What was it?
Mr. Frosty.
Mr. Frosty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was good stuff.
That's some quality soft serve right there.
There's a bit where he's hiding somewhere. I can't remember where it is. And I even noticed it in the background when it was blurry, I was like, someone's having sex behind him in a different apartment, like across the way.
Oh, yeah.
And then it pans to another apartment, and a woman kills a dude, shoots this guy, point blank, and he's like, I'll probably get blamed for that. That fucking cracked me up.
That line's really funny, yeah. But I was like, I guess I missed the line delivery because I was watching. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, fucking, what is happening with to this poor dude?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I tell you what, you take 30 seconds out of that whole movie, different movie.
Yeah, right.
It's a way different vibe. Yeah, I think my favorite fucking two bits are probably like the same cabbie coming back. I like that. And him falling out of the truck at work and just being like, well, I guess it's time to go to work.
And he's filthy as fuck when he's going to work. Like, because he was covered in paper mache, so he's got all this like.
Did you do that when you were younger? You like go out fucking drinking all night, drink until fucking 4:00 in the morning, and then go to work at 7?
No, because I just couldn't do. I did it one time, and I was like, I'll never do this again.
Yeah. One time I went to I was like at something formal, like I went to a wedding or a wedding reception or something. Like I was dressed very nice, and then I went to a party out in the middle of the woods. I had a brand new pair of Doc Martens. Remember when those were hot?
Right.
I had a brand new pair of Doc Martens, and I got out of my car and stepped into just a quicksand mud hole and totally lost the shoe and the sock. And then it was late. It took me forever to find the fucking place. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get fucking hammered because it was nice outside. So then I went to work the following day to do my manual labor job in dress pants. Like my shirt was ripped and I was barefoot on one foot.
Just showed up for work like that.
Well, I was at the canoe rental place. So it was like they had like fucking shoes. I just bought a pair of like water shoes and wore those for the day. But fuck me, man. It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
It was a pretty rough night and subsequent day. Which I feel for Paul in that instance.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this movie is like, a lot of this shit doesn't make sense. These aren't things that, they are things that can happen, but maybe not necessarily how you would react to them. Or
weird
like
specifics.
You're not going to get dropped off at work like that and just go into work.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, I think probably take the day off.
I'm going to take the day. Yeah,
you know
actually,
what I mean? Like,
at least a couple hours. I'll be back.
Yeah. It's just bizarre circumstance.
I think my other favorite part is the guy that works at the diner. I love that guy, man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But there's a bit when Paul comes in and he needs to use the bathroom, and he's like, hey, you're not going to use the bathroom without buying something, are you? And he goes, okay, fine, I'll have a burger and a coffee. He goes, all right, burger and a coffee. Gotcha.
Coffee.
And Paul leaves.
He just leaves,
and then he comes back later, sits down at the table with the bartender who he finds there. The bartender says, I got to go. I'll be right back. Bartender gets up and leaves, and the waiter comes out and brings him
his burger
and his coffee from earlier. I like that a lot. Like that was maybe the funniest part of the movie because there's no delivery with it. The guy just comes out and gives him the burger and the coffee, and I was like, bah.
He's not like, hey, where the fuck did you go? Because he's been gone for like real time, maybe 30 minutes, maybe even more than
maybe
that.
Long, maybe hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like what time does it? Well, I mean, the movie really doesn't end at I guess it ends at like 7 or 8 a.m. or
it's
whatever.
Like 6 or 7, 8 a.m.
Yeah, pretty early.
Yeah. That was super funny at the diner. Yeah, he's like,
it's the fucking the guy always. I'm like, that's Columbo, but it's not Columbo. Like I know it's not the guy that plays Columbo, but he reminds me of the guy that plays Columbo.
The guy at the diner?
The diner, the guy that worked at the diner.
Victor Argo.
Yeah.
That's his name.
That's my guy there.
The actor's name. What was he in? King of New York from 1990.
Hey.
I bet he New York.
He gets a coffee. I think he's in Chopping Mall.
That guy's in Chopping Mall?
I think so.
Well, do you want me to search for that?
Whatever.
Whatever.
How many plaster Paris cream cheese bagel thumbs?
Yeah, you gotta go.
Would you give it?
You gotta go bagel and cream cheese paperweight thumbs.
Plaster of
I think.
Paris.
Yeah, sorry.
Plaster of Paris.
Plaster of Paris, bagel and cream cheese, paperweights.
Yes. How
as
many?
thumbs.
If you had 10 of them.
If you had 10
Your
of them.
papers ain't going nowhere. That should be safe.
Again, I enjoyed this. I thought it was super funny. I know that you had a different experience, but I like that. I like that each of us had such a different experience with an older film that neither of us had seen. That's why I like talking about this shit.
When he pulled up the poster, I was like, oh my God, this is one I remember seeing at fucking Classic Video when I was a kid all the time and be like, that looks like a grown-up movie.
Yeah. I think I expected more. Maybe it was just too much like, hey, you're going to this place, and now you're going to this place, and a little bit too much of a chase. Still enjoyed it. Again, I'm going to go probably like 7.5.
I was going to go 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, for me, very different film.
Yeah.
A couple of gags in it for an otherwise disturbing time.
If there was one more element to this, something, I don't know, there just needs to be one more element, and I think you could almost bump this up a little bit. It's missing something, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is. I don't know what it is.
Murder, probably. Or cops.
Maybe.
Yeah, like a grizzled detective trying to hunt down this maniac, Paul.
Yeah, like a real consequence, maybe?
Yeah, something. Yeah. Some kind of real world consequences.
I kind of figured we probably had the same feelings, but it's still so crazy to me that we had such a different experience with it.
Yeah, it was very different for me. Yeah. That being said, I did watch it in 3 chunks because I had been so busy. I watched it for like 10 minutes, and then I watched it for like almost the entire film, and then I had 15 minutes left. I had to come back and finish like an hour later.
Yeah, I typically like to either watch it in full or maybe split it up at a certain point.
I like to watch it in full if I can get away with it.
For sure.
I just have not had the time. Yeah.
Or energy, apparently.
I haven't had the time or energy, yeah. But you know what? I'm going to. Because we're going to watch, what's it called?
It's called Yur Height Only.
Yur Height Only. Now, I'm sure you're wanting to know what the common thread is between the two films. And we're going to tell you right after this word from our sponsors. It's getting real late night. Maybe like 3 a.m. Could use a little something else, maybe something kind of sweet. Oh, fuck. I can't cut this, so we got like it's a one and done situation. Ooh. I better just whip out my phone here and go to 3amsweets.com. Oh, God. But then the wind blew in. I entered a code. Cum joke. Ooh, 25% off. This is a real ad. Please send some business to 3amsweets.com. Hell yeah. Ooh. That's it.
We're gonna get up in it, boy.
Sure.
Okay, we're back. Just like that. See, didn't take long.
No.
One ad from a totally real sponsor that's a real company. And we're back. Just like that. We watched a whole movie. We watched For Yur Height Only.
Yur Height Only.
Yur.
Formerly known as...
Is it Dune or Dune? It's a not rated 1981 comedy action. I don't think the comedy is deliberate, but boy, is it aplenty. It's got a...
It is deliberate. It's just... we'll get into
Well,
that.
okay, yeah, the whole thing's got to be satire. But it's got a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb, and I can't find any other ratings. Stars Weng Weng as Agent 00. Oh, fuck me, here we go.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Yellen Cattrall as Lola. Beth Sandoval as Irma. Carmi Martin as Marilyn. Anne-Marie Gutierrez as Anna. Most of these are actually not bad.
Anna-Marie.
Anna-Marie Gutierrez and James Gaines as somebody else. But really, the cream of the crop here, we're talking about my boy, Weng Weng.
Oh, yeah. Directed by Eddie Nikart?
Yeah.
Written by Cora Cabales? Cabales? I'm not really sure. We're sorry.
He is an absolute genius and so entertaining to watch. His stunts are spectacular and he brings so much joy to the film. I would agree with that as a random Letterboxd review. Yeah, so tell me, I know, but just to make sure that you know, what was this about? Did you know,
I don't know.
Did you know that the same people that own the intellectual rights to James Bond invented Broccoli Birdman? Barbara Broccoli.
Did you actually believe that, or
I know it to be true. I know it to be true. I'll text BB.
And it's funny because you've told me that on several occasions.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if you actually believe that or if you're just fucking with me.
It's the big mystery, you know? Gotta leave a little sizzle.
I think you actually believe it.
It's true.
No, it's not. Broccoli.
All right, Birdman, let's stay on target. All right, we got a lot to cover.
If you want to talk about broccoli, I'll call my girl right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is she? A broccoli? They're not giving out the family recipe.
She's a broccoli connoisseur.
Oh, yeah? Is she like a bit of a broccolini? Oh, yeah, I know my broccolis.
Okay. Yur Height Only.
Yur Height Only. What's it about?
It stars Weng Weng.
Weng Weng.
Weng Weng.
Pronounced Weng Weng. Spelled W-E-N-G.
That's right.
Weng.
I'm gonna do a cop out and just say what IMDb says.
All right.
It says the diminutive How would you say that?
Diminutive? Wait, I don't know. You got me all fucked up now. It's like when you say it too many times, it kind of like loses context.
Agent 00 must rescue a kidnapped scientist and stop a mysterious warlord from taking over the world.
And get some pussy, which is... So our common theme here, you might think, oh, it's about a guy who wears a suit the whole time. You're wrong. It's about people from New York. Because if you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's also about, not about, but both movies are set in the 80s. Do we win there?
New York in the 80s. I don't know if you can get any more.
This is not set in New York.
Well, no, but everybody that is in the movie is from New York. You can tell very clearly.
So let's just state this real quick, right off the bat. This is a Filipino movie that I guess the audio was lost. Like, they lost the audio,
or destroyed or whatever.
So someone decided to dub it in English. And
they just watched it a couple of times and went, "What is this probably about?"
They were like, "Everyone's going to have a New York accent, basically."
Right. Yeah. And you're like, we're sitting there making fun, but there's a bit in the movie where the guy's like, "Yeah, see?"
He actually says that.
Literally says it verbatim. We're like, holy shit.
So here's the deal. Before the hang on, let me explain a little bit more.
Please. Before
the the dub, this is a comedy. Like, it is a spoof on James Bond films.
Yes. Yeah.
But the dubbing takes it to a new level of silliness because they don't know whoever did this, they don't know the dialogue.
No,
not a chance. They just guessed.
They're
I
just
assume
guessing at it's like lip reading.
Yes,
and it's not bad.
It's not terrible, and I think that's what they did. They
kind of has continuity. Like it's fucking. I couldn't have done better.
I assume that's what they did. They watched it and they looked at the lips and they said, "Okay, this is how long they talked. Here's what I think would be appropriate." Some of it is pretty fucking silly, though. So,
like, they've got drugs in loaves of bread. You know, the guy's like, "There's a whole lot of dough in this dough. See, got the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. Whole lot of dough, whole lot of smack. You know what? You see what I'm saying?"
Do you want to give a quick rundown of the film?
So Agent 00, he's an LP, little person, little tiny little guy. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to sound like a fucking dick here. I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out. I've seen 6-year-olds bigger than this dude. He's a little itty bitty fella. That being said, his exaggerated body movements and just like watching him on screen, it works, dude. It's funny. Like, and not funny and like, look how tiny that guy is. It like he's doing maximum effort. And his stunts and jumps off of shit or whatever, they're spectacular.
It's real.
And they make it fucking cool.
Yeah, you can tell it's real because
there's a bit where he comes flying down a stairwell. There's a bit where he comes flying down a stairwell and he jumps on a guy. And I had seen it in that, like, you've seen that we were talking about the video that pops up on Instagram. It's like a Mentos commercial.
Mentos, like, spoof or whatever.
It's from this movie. There's a bit where he comes flying down the stairwell, and I thought to myself, that's a dummy.
No.
But it's not.
It's not, I don't
Somebody
think.
fucking, like, fastballed his ass down the stairs. He grabbed onto the other guy, and then they cut it after, like, everybody fell down. But you can tell it's not a dummy. It's like, it's really him. Which is pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Wow. At 2'9", he is considered to be the shortest man to ever take the lead in a martial arts or action movie.
2'9"?
2'9".
Holy fuck.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I feel like he did all of the stunts. Because this is really before stuff like that existed, right?
Yeah, I don't know that they could afford to, like, create a halfway convincing artificial substitute.
Right.
You know what I mean? They would have been like, listen, it's going to save us $1 million if you will just jump off this building. I think the umbrella stunt is probably the bravest one that he for sure did.
Okay. The first half of that had to be a dummy, I think, right?
He jumps out like a 20-story building.
Yeah.
With an umbrella.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first half was
that's a dummy.
A dummy. But besides that, I believe he did all of those stunts. I don't know about the miniature jetpack.
He did all the I'm sure it was him on screen, certainly. Was it a real jetpack? No.
Right.
It's like there's a string or a wire or something.
Yeah, there's a wire. Yeah.
But still pretty entertaining.
Did we break it down or no? I think we got sidetracked.
All right, here's why we haven't broken it down is because they kind of changed the plot like 4 times through the movie.
There's so much going on.
It kind of sort of has a continuity. So he's after a crime syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you don't have to go too far. Just break it down.
He's not having models rub his back, but he reports to the chief, but he's like a rock star. And they give him gadgets like 007. He's after a crime syndicate, and he's like there's a lady that's in there, she's a sexy lady.
Yep,
and she's the inside man.
Dude,
woman.
There's our common theme is the ladies are attracted to the leads in.
Like every woman is like, oh my god. There's one lady that's like, it's okay, I like them small. Pedophile. That lady, pedophile.
But that just blew my mind. There's our common theme.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Sorry, go ahead.
That was it.
That was it. It's basically your average action film.
Yeah, just imagine a 007 movie
with
how
drugs,
he's like he's after a shady whatever.
Yeah.
There's why they want to drop the N-bomb, which I thought was really hilarious. He's like, yes, we need to get all the gold together to unleash the power of the N-bomb. I was like, oh shit, this movie's pretty edgy. It's wild. I wouldn't even go that far. That's pretty loose cannon.
In 1981?
Wow.
All right. I'm gonna.
You're not as safe in the Dominican Republic as you might think with that shit. No, it's not. Where is this filmed again? Philippines.
Yeah.
What do you think of the fashion in the Philippines in the 1980s?
Holy shit!
The big collars.
There are a few things we're going to talk about here.
Okay.
We're going to talk about fashion.
Uh-huh.
We're going to get into gadgets eventually.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about how effective the Rochambeau is as a self-defense mechanism.
We're going to talk about cool slides.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with
cool slides, nut kicks.
Yeah, let's start
gadgets.
Let's start with fashion.
Okay, fashion.
I love it. So
I feel like we could bring this back.
It's
because they're not fucking with bell bottoms. Nobody's fucking with bell bottoms. However, they're doing the fucking big ass collared shirts that are like almost all the way unbuttoned.
Yep.
You know, and I feel like I can pull that off as a hairy Tom Selleck looking guy.
Every man in this film.
If Tom Selleck was a fat piece of shit.
You are a fat piece of shit, by the way. I'm just kidding.
100%. I heard that.
Every man in this film is just rocking that chest.
Oh, yeah. Chest out.
Some of them have... Okay, I feel like most of them have at least 3 buttons undone at the top.
Yeah.
Some only have 2 buttons done at the bottom.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what else I thought was great for continuity purposes? How everyone in this film had the exact same size nipples.
I think I only saw 2 nipples.
Just going to let that marinate for a while. You think on it?
I think I only saw 2 nipples.
Yeah.
On one character.
On one character. And let me tell you, while they are normally sized nipples, they seem a little disproportionate, on somebody who's 2'9". And just because like he doesn't have huge nipples, but they're big on him. Like noticeably, you're like, whoa,
holy shit,
right?
Wow, yeah, I like the fashion in this.
Everybody's so fucking greasy and just fucking smoking cigarettes and
smoking cigs. Some cigars. I like a lot of the glasses. A lot of the sunglasses are nice and thick.
Dude, that first pair O's wearing, what? Those first ones are like humongous.
Yes. the sunglasses before he gets gadgets. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Those were sick.
Mm-hmm.
I like those a lot. Yeah, it's mostly
and then he gets those aviators where he can just see ladies
whoa,
naked.
Whoa.
Oh, that's gadget talk.
That's gadget talk.
I'll back it up.
God damn it.
God, not again.
Unprofessional fucking bullshit.
Not again. This is why I can't go back to the Joe Rogan Experience.
Because you can't keep it together. Was it mostly just the shirts? Like... what were they doing for pants? Just normal pants,
just
right?
Regular ass pants, a little high waisted, but that
was the 80s.
That's just the 80s, yeah. But you could just change that, swap that out with a regular pant today, and you could fucking rock those shirts.
Kind of interesting that they didn't do like a the
feel
flare
like,
at the bottom.
I feel like everybody probably had a lot of cocaine on set. Like I feel like when they're opening up that bread, and he's like, "There's a lot of dough in this dough." See.
That was cocaine.
I feel like it's probably like real cocaine.
Right.
That they were just like, we'll do this later. After
on
we're done.
Set. Or wait. No, we have to wait till, I don't know, the early 80s? You could probably do it on set, right?
Dude, there was probably fucking nose beers. Some of that booger sugar.
I think you were born in the wrong era.
I should have been when cocaine was all over the place. That's really when I should have hit my stride.
You should have been an actor, a middle-aged actor.
Yeah.
During the 80s.
I think older if I would have been like in my late 40s. Like if I would have come up with like Al Pacino, where all you had to do to be an actor was to
just do a bunch of coke,
just yell sometimes and be high on cocaine. That was all you had to do.
Right.
Yeah. I could have been Wilford Brimley. You know what I mean? That would have worked for me. Would have been great.
How do you feel about Al Pacino?
How do I feel about Al Pacino?
Yeah.
I feel like most of his acting style is just being odd and then sometimes yelling. Like he just...
I know,
like, that's
people
his
are
whole
like, you
shtick.
gotta watch Scarface. And I'm like, do I?
No, it's fine.
I don't have a tribal tattoo, so...
it's all right, yeah.
Do I have to?
No, nobody's going to make you. I won't, certainly, unless I might.
I might.
I don't really want to revisit Scarface, though. Like, it's fine.
So, we've talked...
I will say, Gattaca's worth a watch, or fucking Dog Day Afternoon.
Okay.
Dog Day Afternoon's pretty edgy, actually.
All right, we've talked a little bit about attire.
Yeah.
There's
I want
one
to talk
thing
about... Can we talk about Double O's fucking 2 outfits he wears the whole movie?
It's more than 2.
Is it?
I think
thought
so.
he just had a blue suit and a white suit.
No, he's got like a...
that white suit, they had to take that motherfucker to the cleaners, boy.
That
He's
white
sliding all over the place.
So that white suit looked good. He's got a white suit.
Did
you say he has a blue suit?
Yeah, he has a blue suit.
I don't remember. So he had a dark brown, or not a dark brown, like a...
Oh, like a tan? Yeah, you're right. He does have that tan.
So he had a few different suits. This kind of ties in with gadgets, so maybe we'll transfer into that.
Yeah.
The hat.
Ooh, hate it. Hate it. Fucking stupid hat. Wouldn't be caught dead wearing
a fedora, right?
It's like a straw. It's like a blue straw fedora with a tinfoil brim. It's the worst looking hat, but he's like, this hat, I know it's a bit dopey looking, but real dangerous, real humdinger. Just a real, packs a real wallop.
Yeah. What does the hat do, though, Dan? As far as gadgets go,
he can remote control fly it with a ring.
Yep.
And it has it's like fucking what's his name? The guy from Mortal Kombat that has the hat with the saw blade on it. It's sharp.
Yeah.
I guess you can stab a dude in the neck with it.
So I guess the remote control flying bowler hat. That's a fedora. Come on.
Yeah.
That's supposed to spoof Oddjob's hat in Goldfinger.
That makes sense.
And so as far as gadgets go, he also has an anti-poison ring, which also controls the bowler hat.
That's pretty dope. That goes way the fuck back, by the way. The fucking like just an anti-poison thing.
What do you mean?
So in like ancient civilizations, there's documentation of people that had like horns like from a rhinoceros that were turned into goblets because the keratin that's in the goblet reacts with alkaloid poisonings, which is like the most common type of poison used to like.
So you could tell when you were being poisoned.
Exactly.
Or
yeah.
you
could have a goblet, and if you looked at your goblet and it bubbled,
yeah,
you'd be like, oh, someone's trying to poison me.
What is this?
I'll keep promoting poverty and have taxes risen even more.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever people were up to back then, I don't fucking know.
A lot. Probably a lot of poisoning.
A lot of devious poisoning
right.
shit, yeah.
So the next gadget we have a small-scale quick assembly machine gun.
Quick in quotations.
Yeah. I guess that it says that's a reference to...
Double O's a weapons expert, though, baby. Easy sneezy.
Scaramanga's gun and the man with the golden gun. I don't know if that's how you say his name. Scaramanga? I don't know.
It's Scarman.
But it was like it started as a pistol, but then he turned it into a machine gun. So that was...
it also had a grenade launcher on it.
Yes.
But like, because he's tiny, all the stuff is tiny. When he's like full clip, he looks at like he holds up the clip and the clip is like, this is like a USB-C to HDMI converter, but it's like it's
That
not
size.
even this thick. Like it's so little.
The sword that he has.
Oh my god! I was like, let's get a steak knife. Because it there's a bit where they do have a katana style sword fight, and his sword is just like a third the length of a normal one.
And then we briefly touched on the jetpack. I guess that spoofs James Bond's from You Only Live Twice. That jetpack was fun.
Jetpack was a fucking blast, man. Like, I'm impressed with how well that turned out. Because when he gave him the jetpack, I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. This is going to be fucking ugh. And not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad, honestly. I mean, better than I was expecting.
Yeah. They didn't focus too much on it, which I think is a good thing.
I tell you what I really like about this movie is all the seamless transitions from scene to scene.
That don't exist.
Yeah. And the phone call conversations, like the writing is just incredible. When he picks up the phone, he's like, let me tell you something. And she's like, okay, listen here. All right. I'll see you there. Next, just immediately they're there. It's good to see you here.
Yeah. Transitions do not exist.
Fucking weird. I don't know who does the English dub voiceover for Weng Weng 00, but poor choice.
Poor choice.
Poor choice for the guy that voices that guy because he just sounds like a little goblin man.
Oh, this says Weng Weng wears a. Sorry.
Is it Gucci?
No.
I know.
It just said the first thing I read was Weng Weng wears a John Travolta Saturday Night Fever.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, but it's like an esque, white suit throughout the entire picture.
Yeah.
So something that interesting.
I was picking up some of those vibes while we were watching.
Featured in Rob Hill's The Bad Movie Bible. Is that a book? Is that an actual book?
Yeah. When was it written? 6,000 years ago? Rob?
It was written by the Broccoli family, who, I don't know if you knew this.
I did, yeah. They invented broccoli. We almost got there at the same time, yeah. I did know that as a true fact.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about gadgets. Let's talk about action.
Okay.
And slides.
Fucking buddy, you ever just slide up to a motherfucker and kick him in the balls to death?
Weng Weng has.
Weng has.
00.
00
has.
Weng Weng. Okay, I'm going to skip to a different type of action. When she's like, have you ever had sex? And he's like, I don't know. Or she's like, do you know what sex is like? And he's like, I don't know. Like, just their exchanges. Sex is like tequila. You have one sip and you're done. You're done for, or whatever.
Shall we do it?
She's like, expose your body, handsome. Or
take off your clothes.
Yeah, the dialogue that they have there is fucking hilarious.
Whoever decided on the dialogue, I want to know. I wish they were in the credits.
Oh my!
They
God.
should be, right?
Yeah. There wouldn't be a movie without it.
Right.
Without that contribution, would just be the strangest silent film.
Maybe it is. Let's see here. Cast. Yeah, I think some of the names are like. It just says it says uncredited for a lot of the names. And then some of them also say voice. So yeah, like Jim Gaines.
Why can't we find an old fucking shitty movie that's had the audio destroyed, and we could do our own voiceover?
Yeah,
and then we'd be fucking rich, bro.
Well, while we were watching this, I was like commenting on the dub, and I was like, it's almost like MXC. I don't know if anyone listening is familiar with the TV show MXC that played on Spike. Was it on Spike?
Oh, that
it was on
sounds
Spike
right.
TV.
Yeah.
It was a real Japanese game show, and someone was like, "Hey, let's dub this and make it a comedy."
Yeah.
And Well, it probably was a Japanese comedy.
They wear like the super exaggerated fucking like feudal Japan attire and shit like that. It's pretty.
That's what this reminded me of.
It's pretty dialed up anyway.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, they dubbed it and were like, no, we're just gonna make it full on silly goose stuff. Mm-hmm. Good show though.
Oh
yeah. You're right though. It does have that vibe.
Has that vibe. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, just look up MXC.
That's right.
Probably streaming somewhere. Check it out.
Yeah.
Super fun, goofy show. All right. We were talking about action.
Action, yeah. I don't know what else you really say about the action. It is not painful to watch.
No,
and pretty fun.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
The action is actually fun to watch.
Is it good? God, no.
No, it's not good. It's just, it's funny.
But you see other dudes like throwing that guy around like he weighs 28 pounds because he probably does. Like, I think a bag of cat food probably weighs more than that guy. Just watching him get flung around and shit, it's like, it's got comedic value because it is slapsticky, but from a excuse me, from a like production standpoint, I think it fucking worked out great. Like, it's pretty admirable.
Yeah. There are some slides that he does throughout the entire film that are just super
constantly
fun.
In almost every other scene.
I will say, I guess he probably learned his lesson because the first slide he does, he hits his head pretty hard.
He's like, ow, my little head.
Yeah, that's what he says.
And he's like, the cab is like, get out of here, you ain't got no money or whatever. And he gets out of the cab, he's like, oh, now I gotta walk on my little feet. But his voice is so weird, man. Like,
another similar.
I can't. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Cab, no money.
Kicked out of cabs in New York. Hey, you fucking bum! What are you doing?
What are you doing? You're walking here.
Yeah, you're walking now.
Yeah, some really fun action scenes for sure, and a lot of it.
But let's talk about the antagonist, Mr. Giant, who is also another little person. Yeah. But when they square up, I think he's got almost a foot on Weng Weng.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fun.
Did it credit what was it? Mr.
Giant?
Mr. Giant? I don't think it credited. Let's see here. Mr. Giant.
Jesus, just antagonizing the fuck out of him.
Yeah, it doesn't even say who that was played by.
Huh.
Weird.
Well, that's some bullshit.
That's some fucking bullshit. Huh. We talked a little bit, or I just like briefly mentioned this. There is a documentary about Weng Weng.
I'm for real fucking watching this.
I want to watch that.
Yeah.
I did read that it's a little sad, probably just because of his situation.
Yeah.
Because he died when he was 34.
I'm sure that sort of condition comes with its own slew of fucking medical problems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what he died when he was 34.
They filmed this when he was 7.
Right. No, he
got him.
He was born in 1957, and then died in 1992.
Damn.
Real name is not Weng Weng, by the way.
Oh.
Ernesto Guzman de la Cruz.
Yeah.
Ernesto de Guzman de la Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, The Search for Weng Weng is the documentary, and I am seriously interested in watching that. It's on Tubi.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which, by the way, we did decide during the break has the best launch sound of any streaming.
Like when you launch the app?
Yeah. Of any streaming service.
It's pretty, I like it.
Tubi's got the best one.
Tubi's is pretty good. We didn't talk about Max. Does Max have one?
Yeah, it's just like a dong. It's like just a tone.
Just kind of boring.
Like Taco Bell. One note. Bong.
Tubi and then Shudder. Shudder's is pretty cool.
Shudder's got a good one. That boom boom.
Yeah.
Boom boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I like that. Netflix, you need to do a little work.
Netflix, step your fucking game up. It's jarring. I don't like it. It scares me when it's late.
Yeah, because
sometimes I turn on my sound bar.
Yeah,
I just randomly turn on my sound. I don't remember what the volume was on last time I had the sound bar on.
And it scares the fuck out of you.
It scares the fuck out of me. It frightens my cats.
Fucking Jesus.
My wife's gonna leave me. Now I have to turn on Netflix without the volume.
All right, I think we've pretty much exhausted Yur Height Only. Was there something else you wanted to mention?
Oh boy, I feel like there was. And man, I can't tell you how much I really, really enjoyed the voiceover work.
It kind of made the film.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. If the entire film was in a foreign fucking language and it was just like subtitled, I still would have gotten a kick out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
the dubbing...
not to the. It's just because everybody in the movie's from New York, and then you've got Weng Weng, who's like, "What do you mean?" Like he just sounds so odd. Like the voice does not at all match what he looks like or his body language or anything. And one last thing I wanted to say: that fucking haircut is whack as fuck.
Weng Weng's haircut.
Because he's not a bad looking little dude. He just fucking has an awful haircut. It's real bad.
Oh man, what a movie!
The early '80s were a different time, though. Maybe that was slick looking.
Maybe it was. Yeah. Probably was.
Yeah. The internet would have you believe that women are into tall men, but I got to tell you, I think it's the year of the short kings.
And, well, I guess
and the unibrow.
I was gonna say, I guess this was the '80s. You know, unibrows.
Fellas, if you're 2'9" and have a unibrow, I hope you brought your swimming trunks because you're about to go for a dip in a sea of poontang.
You might want to find a time machine.
Yeah, that's right.
To 1980.
Right. 1980. Just start over. Start fresh. The fucking economy was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could buy a house for like $38 in a carton of cigarettes. Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
How many thumbs?
That's what I was going to say. What kind of thumbs? You do like little fucking little, like if you just had little white suits for all your.
You want to do what they called them bowler hats, but I mean that's a fedora.
That's a fucking fedora, nerd. Don't try to.
Fedoras, little tiny suits.
They called it a bowler hat.
Well,
because a bowler hat's got it's like
not in the film
a tit without a nipple. It's just that hump.
Not in the film, but on the trivia there. So you know. What else?
Oh, at the bowler hats, there's that gun.
The gun that he.
Let's do the hats, I guess.
Do the hats?
Yeah.
Because the hats are pretty cool as far as like.
I'll be honest with you. The effect they did with the hat, I don't even know. I don't know how they did it for 1981. I think it looks fucking incredible.
Some kind of string mechanism, maybe.
I don't know. It's spinning like a motherfucker, though.
What about the ring? If you just had
the one ring,
the ring that he wears. What if you just had those as thumbs?
Oh, just the rings? Okay, yeah. Let's do that.
Just a ring that can sense poison and also controls a hat.
Yeah, and is like a tracking device also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's three tier.
That's pretty sick.
This
I like
movie
that.
predicted the smartphone. A thing that can do three things.
Think about that.
It's amazing.
That's amazing. Or jetpacks.
There's a bit when he picks up a regular gun and shoots it, and he fucking goes flying backwards.
Yeah,
because of the recoil. Oh, that's funny. But that's why he's got his special little tiny gun, because he can handle the recoil from it.
Okay, so either the ring or the jetpack.
Ring.
Ring?
Yeah, I'm saying ring because it's sillier.
That is silly.
Yeah.
It has so many uses.
10-pack.
I kind of I gotta go 10.
I'm going 10-pack.
I had so much fun with this.
I'm gonna buy this. I need a physical copy of this. I'm gonna wait for the Vinegar Syndrome release.
It doesn't exist.
What? It will.
I looked.
It will.
Doesn't exist.
They can't keep their fucking grubby little hands off of this. Not for that long.
I can't not give it a 10 because
I need a physical copy of this.
We had so much fun.
It's fucking gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. The similarity that we realized after watching it. We were like,
Right.
oh shit.
It's got something in common.
They're both ladies, like
oh yeah,
they're both
crushing it.
just crushing it.
Yeah, crushing it.
So I think that about
He just goes to a bar, pulls up a chair, sits next to this woman where there's a drink already poured, and she's like, "I like him small." And then he turns around, she poisons his drink. He turns back around to the woman, and she stands up and goes, "See you later."
Yeah.
And just get like what?
Yeah.
The whole thing is just like, what the fuck is supposed to be happening here? Just a blast, man. I really cannot highly recommend this one enough. If you love a fucking stupid thing,
Yeah.
cream of the crop.
Yur Height Only. You're gonna have to rent it, but you know what? It's worth $5.
Yeah. Or just buy it.
Or just buy it.
Buy a physical.
If it exists. I doubt
physical media is dead. And the people that own James Bond made broccoli. Invented it. That's where it comes. They print it in a printing press.
You're stupid. I want to see if this exists as a
the broccoli thing. Just don't look it up. It's just real, though. It's real though.
Gosh. Yur Height Only / Challenge of the Tiger. What the fuck is that? But it's a DVD for $25.
Okay.
So it's a double. By the way, there's a sequel.
I can't believe we didn't watch it.
To Yur Height. Oh, we're gonna fit this in somewhere.
We have fucked up our perfect streak.
Nah.
Nah?
Yeah. Right. There's a sequel called The Impossible Kid. And we're gonna watch that.
Because he's an adult man.
We're gonna watch that at some point.
Oh,
so just
next
be prepared. I think that's about it for our bad film, which was not really bad.
No.
I mean, it's not good. It's fun.
No. Anybody objectively would watch this and go, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
and if
right.
they say, if you're like, no, sit down. Here's a beer. Shut up.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, just kick back. 10 minutes into it, they'd be like, "Okay, yeah, no, I'm into this. I want to know what happens with this little fella. Do they get Mr. Giant? What's he like? Is he like
What's he like?
5'9"?
Oh, we didn't talk about the little mirror thing. What was that? Can you explain that?
You know what an infinity mirror is? Just a mirror that looks like it goes on forever. It was that.
And it talked.
Yeah, like a Charlie's Angels kind of situation.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess everything was kind of ripped off in this film. They ripped off something.
Yeah.
In this. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. Do you want to move on to our next segment?
Hey, what you watching?
What you watching? All right. So, do you want me to start on? You know, I'm just going to go from the top of my list here.
You should go from the top of your list.
I finished the book Warlock. I think I mentioned that at some point on the show.
Oh.
It's a Western.
Okay.
It's
called Warlock?
Warlock.
Huh.
By Oakley Hall.
It doesn't sound very like orb pondering warlocky.
It's a Western, Dan.
Well, yeah, but warlocks are not Western.
It's the name of the town. In the book.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Like a strange name for an old West town. Welcome to Warlock.
Warlock. I don't know. I didn't write the fucking book.
Can a fella ponder an orb around here or what?
Good book.
Yeah?
Great book. Yeah. If you're into Westerns, check out Warlock.
Does anyone die of consumption?
I don't think so. You're like, not a Western.
Sounds like a work of fiction.
But got him.
And
That's
does
great.
anyone eat broccoli? That's because it wasn't invented until later. I thank you.
By the broccoli family.
Yeah. Where do you think they got all that money to buy the rights to James Bond? Birdman, come on. Use your head. Think about it, man. Open your eyes.
You actually believed that?
I still believe it because it's true.
It's not.
Those are the facts, man. Look, I don't take the shits. I just disturb them.
I fucking hate you.
We're great friends.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna save the. I think I'll maybe just start mentioning the books that I'm reading, like once I finish them. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, unless you're like excited to talk about it.
I do like the book I'm reading, but it's like I'm only halfway through. So
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah, that's it.
Is it cool?
That's it.
I don't know why I'm throwing shade at that. I liked that book when I was younger.
I played a little bit of Rise of the Ronin, a new video game that just came out recently.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah? You said it was pretty difficult. And the dogs do backflips. The dogs know karate in the game.
It is a difficult game, just purely based on the God damn it, I can't think of words.
Combat?
The combat? Sorry.
I got you.
Wow.
I got you back.
Can't think of words, dude.
You know.
The combat, it is good. That's about the only thing that I actually liked.
Yeah.
The story, I just couldn't get into it. Didn't care for any of the characters. And the game just looks like shit, honestly.
Oh, okay. It's a bummer.
It's a game that looks like a late stage PS3 game.
Oof.
And it's 2024.
Ugh. Yeah.
Looks bad.
Polish that shit.
Real bad. Combat is about the only good thing.
And it's not awesome.
It's not awesome. So
damn.
I put it down. Will I come back to it? Maybe.
Will I come back to it and 100% it? Definitely. But
I won't be happy.
I won't be happy. I'll bitch about it the whole time.
Here's the thing. I spent $70 on it, so probably will.
You're gonna get your money worth out of that one. While we're on video games,
go ahead.
Did you have more to say about?
So I put that down and I was like, you know what? I know it's lame. This is super lame. But I bought the newest Assassin's Creed. I was like, I'm familiar with those games.
Yeah, you like them too.
I have fun with them.
Yeah.
There are some of them that I did not enjoy.
Yeah.
But this one is kind of they brought it back to the basics of stealth.
Is it 2 or 3, the one that's with Ezio?
2. Because
it's the best one.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
It's 2, Brotherhood, or wait.
I like the one where you're a Native American, like
that's
post-Civil War or whatever. Yeah, that's a cool
3.
one.
My favorite was probably actually Assassin's Creed 2 and then Black Flag. I really liked a lot. But
I thought you were going to say Assassin's Creed 12 Black Ops.
The new one, though.
You're just a soldier. It's just
Call of Duty. Yeah. The mashup. Assassin's Creed Mirage. I liked it. It's not perfect. It's kind of the opposite of Rise of the Ronin. Like, the combat is so basic that it's just kind of boring. But outside of that, I dug the story.
You gotta hit a happy medium with the combat, man.
Yeah.
It's like, it's gotta be smooth enough. And like, it's gotta be different to be distinct, but it's gotta be the same enough that there's not a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
I went from Spider-Man 2, beat Spider-Man 2. I don't know if I talked about that on the show or not. I think maybe we did.
I haven't. I can't remember. Anyways,
and then
no, we haven't. We haven't talked about you beating it because I wanted to talk to you about what you thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So I beat Spider-Man 2, and then I also subsequently
you beat God of War.
God of War.
Yeah. Let's talk about both of those.
Okay.
Go ahead. Spider-Man 2. What'd you think?
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I like being Spider-Man.
Swinging around the city
it's worth the price of admission alone.
The best.
You could never throw a punch in Spider-Man, and it's worth every fucking cent.
Right.
Yeah, just swinging around fucking
around
New
the
York.
City.
Getting on top of the tallest building and just looking about and being like, fucking so many hot dogs being consumed down here.
And then just jumping from that building.
Hell yeah.
And then just swinging through New York. Like, it's insane.
Fucking A.
They got that. And even the first game, like from the first game, they got it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's all you had to do. Like, take all that time to build that world and make those navigation mechanics, because then you can milk that. If they released another one next year, guess what? I'm going to buy that too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll buy early access. I'll buy the bonus, the premium package or whatever, because I want the extra suit to wear for 5 fucking minutes before I change it back to a different one.
I will say, as far as suits go and story, I think I preferred the first game.
Okay.
On most of the suits. The story, again, I think I preferred the first.
Yeah.
But I felt like in the second game, they tried to introduce too many new characters, and it got a little messy.
Yeah. I because none of them were new characters to me. I know all those guys from the time you meet like Cletus
Not
Cassidy.
new, but you know, like new to that.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, I'm finally getting to see this. Also, I do have to say, the presentation of Kraven the Hunter in Spider-Man 2, my favorite version. Like, scary, intimidating. You know what I mean? You're like, God damn, this dude's fucking badass.
I did like Kraven. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Because you get your ass kicked by him, right? Like,
of course, my favorite suit in the game is one you get after you beat it. It's the the purple, like the purplish black black suit, but it's technically purple. It's my jam. I fucking love that thing. I like the Spider-Man 2099 look.
I do like that one a lot.
But in the first Spider-Man game, it had the armored, armored 2099 version, and that's my favorite.
It's so good. It's crisp. Dan.
It is fucking crispy. I'd wear the blue one during the daytime scenes, and then I'd switch to the armor one that's lighter colored for night stuff.
You know what I wore for Miles?
What?
The backpack with the
cat. Yeah. Hey, Spider-Man. The cat, Spider-Man, it's a cat though.
It's a cat though.
But his name's Spider-Man.
Right, the cat's name is Spider-Man. Cute.
I like the Across the Spider-Verse costume from Miles. I also like the frame rate. The frame rate thing, they fucking polished the hell out of that. It looked awesome. But I could just talk ad nauseum because I'm a fucking Marvel nerd and I like Spider-Man. But I want to talk about Ragnarok a little bit.
Yeah.
Big change, or not Ragnarok.
Not Ragnarok. The first
God of War.
The God of War reboot, 2018.
Yeah, yes. I was like, couldn't remember what year. So I went and I played through that. Wow, a lot of fun.
Yeah,
really like it. I like the way that you mess with like some of these like not minor gods. I guess tropes and characters that are less explored in most themes, most things that have a Norse theme to them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Very cool. The world serpent. Love that.
Yeah.
That it's just fucking horrifying to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Combat. It took me fucking forever to get used to it.
Yeah.
But as soon as I did, I'm like, God damn, feels good throwing that axe.
It can be difficult, I should say.
Yeah.
I think I always played on like normal.
I'll be honest with you, by the time in the game that you actually get the, what are they called? The Blades of Chaos.
Yeah.
By the time you actually get them, I had forgotten about them.
Yeah.
Like I had forgotten that it was part of the story. And then he's like looking at his forearms and I was like, yeah. I'm going to go get those. Yeah.
That just gave me chills.
Yeah. I haven't
thinking about that.
I haven't played one in fucking forever. And I'm like, he's got the axe and I'm like, man, I missed the little swords on chains, you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't remember what they're called, but those were dope.
It's so cool how they went from, because the old God of War games were just linear.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, you know what? Let's kind of open it up a little bit.
I'll tell you one thing I didn't care for. I didn't care for the, and this is very minor. I'm like nitpicking it. I didn't care for the menu.
Didn't like it either.
Where
really?
You upgrade your shit, and I'll be honest with you,
it's confusing.
I didn't even pay attention to most of it. I was just like, yeah, whatever, fucking throw the thing in. This one's better than that one. All right, whatever.
Yeah, it can be quite confusing.
Yeah,
I will say,
like that could have been streamlined or just like made easy. I don't know. Look at another game that does that thing.
Yeah,
like Spider-Man. Even the skill tree on Spider-Man is way less complicated because there's a tree for Peter, a tree for Miles, and a tree for teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. On this one, there's like weirdly like 8 different skill trees. Like, why?
Yeah, that's a big...
I'm one dude the whole game. It's not like I can switch between myself and boy.
Yeah.
I also thought it was weird when he's like, come boy. I was like, how does he know my name?
Hey, how'd you know that? Yeah, user interface is a big deal.
Yeah, it really is.
I always go back to The Last of Us because with The Last of it's so quick.
Yeah.
Like switching between weapons and the way you upgrade and just all of that. I feel like they knocked that out of the park. Yeah.
I will say the cool thing about that God of War game is that you only do have 2 primary weapons, and switching between them is pretty fucking buttery.
And
like,
using his son, using his son's bow, it's pretty flawless.
Yeah, well, because he's just on autopilot, the kid is. So it's like you just mash square whenever, and he'll like, pya!
Yeah.
Phew!
I like the way they did it.
Yeah, really good game.
Set up.
I'm looking forward to playing Ragnarok. I also have booted up and played like 2 or 3 hours of Baldur's Gate because I still haven't finished it, which is crazy because I'm like 180 hours into it.
God damn.
And haven't finished it yet. But I played 2 campaigns almost to the exact same point.
That's fucking crazy.
So I'm like, which one do I finish first? Because they're like, one campaign is like maybe an hour or 2 ahead of the other one at this point.
Wow.
Love that though. Love that it's won so many awards, and I've played it for that many hours, and I'm still like excited to play it again.
That's getting your money's worth.
Fucking, you know what I mean, bro. Well, also I bought 2 copies of it, one for Xbox and one. Then I got a PlayStation. I'm like, well, it'll look better on PlayStation, and it does. But yeah, super fucking fun game, man. Very, very, very happy with that purchase.
Yeah.
If you're into that stuff at all, it's so in depth, and the possibilities are fucking nearly endless. It would probably take in the neighborhood of 1,000 hours to explore everything that game has to offer.
That's
like
insane.
It is humongous.
That's what I mean. Like, talk about value.
They are not going to. There's not going to be like more premium content that comes out. They're done. They've moved on to another project.
Yeah. That's how it should be, though.
Yeah, like you made the fucking game, you crushed it. Yeah, move on. Let's have another.
Don't go. Oh, you know what? We released a broken game. We have to spend 6 months to fix it. No,
right?
You just
released Cyberpunk. It was longer than 6 months, wasn't it? What, like 2 years?
It was like 2 years.
Yeah, that's
it took them like 2 years to fix that game,
dude. Where they really fucked up was just giving people that trailer. Like they got everybody way too hyped for it, and then a thing that they not just couldn't but didn't deliver on.
What's insane is I bought it after it came out for pretty cheap, maybe like $40, sold it and made like $30 off of it, and then bought it again at a time where it was like $5. I'm not kidding, like for a disc, not just digitally, like $5.
Fuck me.
Because it was doing so poorly. So that's another thing. I'm so sick of games being released broken.
What's that? What's the company that made that? CD
Projekt Red.
CD Projekt. I was like, Red CD Red.
And that's the thing is they knocked that out of the park with The Witcher, and then they just fucked up so hard with
just big wet
Cyberpunk.
Big wet fart on Cyberpunk.
So I hope they learn their lesson. But
we'll
see.
I hope that the studio that did Baldur's Gate will make a Cyberpunk version in the same vein. Like, because you can do, as far as tabletop gaming goes, there's Dungeons and Dragons, which is what Baldur's Gate is.
Right.
But you can also play Pathfinder, and Pathfinder has a, like, cyberpunk genre. Where, like, one ability you can have is, like, you're a technopath. So you can, like, talk to computers and shit with your fucking mind. Like, that would make a whole new level to what the game is.
Yeah.
For it just being like, they've nailed tabletop gaming, which is something that is incredibly hard to do.
Yeah.
Even onboarding for that, like onboarding a new person to playing Dungeons. If you were like, you know what, Dan, I think I want to play Dungeons and Dragons next week. To onboard you, to get you to be like comfortable playing as yourself, takes hours.
I used to play.
Yeah. Oh, well, then it might not take hours.
It's been years ago.
You just need a little refresher. It'd take
years.
Hour, maybe, max. But, it's a lot, and they do it pretty fucking seamlessly. Like, pretty easily. One thing I wish I knew about the game before I started was it's a really good idea to save, like, a lot, like, all the time. You make a choice, save.
Yeah. That's a lot. I feel like a lot of the games I've played recently, it's like that hey, just go ahead and save a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another video game I want to mention, but with the release of the Fallout TV series,
I want to watch it.
They're going to be updating Fallout 4, which I've tried to play quite a few times, but just never really got into it.
I've never played a Fallout game.
So I own it, but I'm going to wait for the update. I think it's later this month. So
are you going to just start it from scratch?
It's crazy because I just downloaded it like a week ago and restarted it. So I'm not that far. I'm like, I'll just wait. Another game that I'm playing right now is called A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Okay. I think are you like a mother and daughter combo?
It's sister and brother and sister.
Your mother die like at the beginning or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a trailer for that. That looks pretty cool.
It's good. So it's like an action adventure / stealth set in the 14th century during like the Black Plague.
The worst one, probably.
Yeah. Dude, it's brutal. So if you're afraid of if rats are not your thing, probably don't play this game.
Yeah, I'm usually just 12 rats in a trench coat. So I'm fine with that.
Great game though. Really, really good. Like it looks amazing. And there's a sequel to it as well, which I'm excited about. So
it's called The Plague 2, Here we go again.
Here we go again. Do you like my A Plague Tale: Innocence?
I do, yeah.
Innocence. You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah,
just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what? I watched. The only thing I really have to talk about is the newest Dimitri Martin special.
Yeah.
Watched that with my lady, and I know you're not a fan.
I'm hit or miss. It's not that I'm not a fan, it's just that some of it I find quite funny and some of it I find very grating.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was super,
I'll give it a
super
go.
funny.
I'll give it a go. He's
funny.
got some that I think are absolute fucking bangers. What did I watch? Oh, I watched Night Swim.
Yeah, how's that?
Hated it.
Hated it.
Actually, it's a really fun idea. It's just like
it looked dumb as fuck to me. I'm not gonna
all
lie.
the characters are dumb as fuck. Like Wyatt Russell. I like his performance. I just fucking hate his character because he's like used to be a pro ball player and now he's got MS.
That sucks, dude. Because I really like him as an actor.
Me too. And he does a good performance. It's just a fucking stupid character. Like it's stupid. Same thing with his wife. Stupid character. The performances from everybody in it, I thought were quite good. The two young actors that play his children, fantastic.
So is it a writing problem or is it a directing problem?
It's a writing problem, I think. As far as direction goes, you knocked it out of the park. Did everything you could. I think the horror element in it definitely works, that there's like a haunted pool. But essentially what it is imagine the movie Poltergeist. Mm-hmm. Now it's just a pool. That's it. That's the whole movie.
Man,
it's the
that's
movie Poltergeist, but it's a pool instead of a house.
Poltergeist used to freak me the fuck out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Poltergeist 2 freaked me out when I was a kid because there's a bit where the dad gets drunk and he's like screaming and shit and he pukes up a big like worm skeleton baby. Yeah. That fucking I was like,
oh man, I like is it Carrie Condon that plays his wife?
Yeah.
Man, that sucks. I really like her.
She's good. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's not a bad watch. It just like when it was 3/4 of the way over, I was like, I bet this happens and this happens and this happens. And I was dead on because I've seen that in 30 fucking horror movies. Like it just is very formulaic, very predictable.
I still need to watch the Banshees of Inisherin.
Inisherin? Hey, I haven't seen that one yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah. You get a kick out of that. You'd like it. It's just kind of a human condition piece, but it's like really, really well done. Yeah.
Is it show worthy or nah? A little too.
I'd do it if you want to do it on the show. We could do that for our next episode.
I mean, it's going to be your pick. So I want you to pick something that you really
maybe I'll pick Banshees of Inisherin.
The Banshees.
The Banshees
of Inisherin.
Of
Ed Sheeran.
What else did I watch? Did I watch anything good? I watched that All Quiet on Set documentary about the Nickelodeon kid toucher guy. Boy, that sucks, man. That's horrible, abhorrent shit. What I do like, because I know it ruined a bunch of people's childhoods, like watching that documentary. I am happy to report, though, I never watched any of those fucking shows. So I ultimately was just like, this is like a documentary about any other, pedophile or sex offender or whatever. Sucks that it was on TV.
What were some of the shows other than, like, I know Drake and Josh and Drake?
All that. I had seen an episode or two of all that before.
I think it was at the tail end of all that. Like, it didn't involve, like... Because Kenan Thompson came out and said, like, that didn't really affect us. Some of the... there was nothing like that during that show. It was at the end when things started to get a little weird. And people were, like, making certain comments about, like, weight and stuff like that. It wasn't as bad as the later shows, I think. But I did watch quite a bit of all that. Do you remember any of the other shows? I know it was, like, Drake and Josh was one of them.
Yeah, it was one of the big ones.
What was
Not really. I don't remember what any of them are because I never watched any of them. So they'll, like, say the name of the show and I'll go, I don't know what that is.
Amanda Bynes. I believe she was...
That was one of them or whatever. Yeah. Boy, she's a train wreck. Poor thing.
I know. You feel for the child actors a lot because it's like, now that all this shit's come out, it's weird though. It's weird though. I try really hard to remain impartial, and I feel like if Amanda Bynes was never on TV and I didn't know who she was and I saw her walking through town when I lived in town, I'd be like, look at this fucking crackhead. Yeah.
Because she just seems like a crackhead. Right. You know what I mean? And there's tons of those walking through town.
But you don't know their story.
They came from a fucking traumatic childhood. I guarantee it. Yeah. Probably more traumatic than Amanda Bynes, but I'm still like, fucking crackhead. Mm-hmm. Get your shit together, Right. It's just not that easy. No, it's not. That's like, you feel for them like, oh man, that's no good. But also... Try to make yourself move forward. I know it's got to be the hardest fucking thing in the world. No, it's got to be, but you can either stay where you're at or you can move on. Those are the only two options.
What's her name?
It's way easier to get behind somebody who's trying.
Yeah. Jeanette McCurdy. That's another one. Because she wrote a book about I think it probably touches on some of the Nickelodeon stuff, but it's more about her relationship with her mom. She was on iCarly for several years, and the book she wrote was called "I'm Glad My Mom Died."
Yeah, they had her on the documentary, I think, briefly.
Yeah, a book I do want to read because I've heard it's fantastic.
Yeah,
just a very troubled relationship with her mom, who kind of forced her into a lot of the child actor stuff.
Yeah, that's fucking tough spot, man. It's fucking tough spot for goddamn sure.
Did you watch anything else or anything else that you can think of?
I watched I tried to watch The Zone of Interest and I put it on for like 10 minutes and just was not feeling it. I'm going to come back to it because I've heard lots of good things about it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to put this on and see what it's about. And it did that same thing that 2001: A Space Odyssey does, where it's just a black screen and a noise for like 5 minutes. And I was like, weird. Fucking hating this. I tell you what, 8 or 9 more minutes of this and I'm fucking out of here. So I watched a couple more minutes of it. I was like, you know what? I'm just not in the mood for this right now. I want to come back to it when I'm not so deep into it that I'm not going to abandon it. So I watched maybe 10 minutes, but I plan on revisiting that next week.
It's about an Auschwitz commandant.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. They have like a very slice of Americana house. You know what I mean? And they're like family life or whatever, but it is literally right next to Auschwitz. Like it's next door. So they have this weird, like, very humdrum, happy family life, but also live right next to this fucking death camp.
Wow.
Yeah,
is it
weird. Pretty weird. It's in German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it bad to say that anytime I look up a novel and it has anything to do with Nazi Germany that I'm just like
put off by it? I get it. It's it's so prevalent in our culture.
Not that I'm like put off by it, but I'm just like,
here we go again.
Yep. And I hate to say that. I really do, because I know how.
Look, if somebody sits you down one time and, like, let's say you didn't know and you made an off-color comment about Nazi Germany and somebody went and sat you down and goes, listen, you need to understand the gravity of the situation. And you listen to it thoroughly and you were like, oh, that's terrible. You know what? I've come around. I've changed my point of view. Thank you for the information. These devastating atrocities, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but you just get that again, like 8 or 9 more times. By the 9th time, you're fucking tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
I get it. I know it was awful. I know it was awful. It's a
terrible thing. Yeah.
But evidently the movie's quite good. I do want to give it a watch. But I am usually kind of, I don't want to say put off by it. It's probably the wrong term, but like I can't make myself go, I'm going to dedicate multiple hours to this again.
Right.
Because it's not like the information changed.
Yeah, it's still the same.
It's still a fucking horrible tragedy. The one exception to that, I think, is Jojo Rabbit, but that really doesn't have anything to do with the Nazi occupation, apart from like a more comedic rendering of it, I guess. I've got one more thing to talk about for what you're watching, and I guess I probably am out of steam. I finally got Alicia to watch Attack on Titan.
Okay.
It is an anime that I was like, hey, listen, you're going to watch this with me someday. And she goes, okay,
No, I'm not.
Okay, sure, whatever. And a couple of months ago, I was like, hey, listen, will you give me 3 episodes? I just put your phone down and watch 3 episodes of it. They are less than 20 minutes long. And if you don't like it, I will never ask you about it again. She goes, okay, yeah, we'll do that. So we did that the other day. And instead of watching 3 episodes, we watched 19 episodes. It's just a fucking really good, weird, twisted fucking show. And I think it's one that appeals to a more adult audience who might, if you're like, I don't know about anime, it doesn't seem like it's my thing, man, maybe check out Attack on Titan. Like, there are a couple that are like very adult in thematics and execution that I think anybody who just likes a good fucking story would appreciate.
Okay.
Like, you'll forget that you're watching an anime series after like 3 or 4 episodes. You'll just want to know what happens next. And that's just the mark of good storytelling. But yeah, great show, I think. I only ever watched season 1, so I'm really excited. The series is finished, so I'm very completed about finally going back and watching all of it.
98 episodes.
Yep.
That's a lot.
It is, yeah.
10-year span. Wow.
Yeah. A lot of fucking hard work and creative talent went into making that show.
Cool. Looks like it's on Hulu, Max.
I think we're watching it on a Crunchyroll.
Oh, Crunchyroll! You got that Crunchyroll?
I got Crunchyroll. Got that Crunchyroll. That's all I got. You got anything else?
Let me see here.
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that phone call for a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob, we don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin business is booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, special thanks for the people who helped make this show. That is going to be Russ, Tafari, God-Sized and Growing, and SUNDS for our music, Lamplighter Productions for our artwork, Oh, yeah. I definitely want to throw out a thanks to Dave, who takes care of our YouTube platform, and Justin, who has started doing our TikTok. You can find us on TikTok at Just Two Movies Pod. Yeah, so hit us up on socials and tell your friends and leave us a like if you could. That's the show. Great job. Full 10 seconds. Terrific. It's the best, the longest 10
That's
seconds.
the greatest 10 seconds of anyone's life.
Hey,
Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
Yeah, Monica Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, man.
What, you need a cold beer?
You know what? Before we start, I didn't bring my cooler.
I brought a 2-pack just for the hell of it.
And I also need to kind of pee. So let's get that out of the way.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. Just get it out of there. I need to look up my movie stuff anyway.